In this lesson, we'll implement placing items on the background. So for example, if I touch the duck and then I touch somewhere in the background, a new duck will be created on that position. Later on, we'll make the pet move towards that direction and eat or consume the item. But for now, we're only going to place the items on the screen. That's what we're doing in this video. The first thing I want to do is listen for inputs on the background, because we'll be touching the background now. And the background so far is only a static image. So we need to enable input for that background. This .background .input enabled equals true. And what happens when you click or you touch on the background? We are going to have to listen for that. It will be events.onInputDown.add, and we're going to create a new method called placeItem. We're passing the context as well, this, so that we can refer to this inside of placeItem. Let's now implement placeItem. So I'm going to create a new method called placeItem function, and it receives the sprite and the event. Sprite in this case will be background, because this is only applied for background. So the game.add.sprite position will be x, y. What's going to be the key of this new element? It could be the key of the apple, the key of the candy. Keys, let's remember, are these values. So for us to know which one that was, that's actually simple, because if you click on the apple, this .selected item will be the apple. If you click on the candy, this .selected item will be the candy, and so forth. So this .selected item actually keeps the information of these sprites. So if we want to know the key of that particular sprite, all we have to do is this .selected item.key. Key is a property that gives you the name of the sprite. So the sprite that we're creating, for example, for an apple, should have the same key as the apple button in this particular example. It's going to look the same. That's all we need just to create the item, but I'm also going to make sure that the anchor point is centered. Otherwise, the point where you click is going to be the top left corner, and we don't want that. We obviously want the place where you click to be the center of the sprite. So this will be set to 0.5. And also, we are going to pass it the custom parameters as well from the original button, just because we'll use those later to update the pet stats, so to make it happier, to make it more healthy or less healthy. So let's reload and see how we can now create new sprites. Obviously, nothing else happens for now. We should check that this can only occur if we have selected something, because if we haven't selected anything, we might get an error. Also, if the user interface is blocked, we shouldn't be able to place items. So we're going to check for those two things. I want there to be a selection, and also I want that the UI is not blocked. So this will go now inside of this condition. So that, for example, if I haven't selected anything, nothing happens. And if this is happening, then yeah, well, you can't select stuff when it's rotating. But if we wanted to block the UI for another reason, now we know that if the UI is blocked, you can't keep on placing things on the screen. So that's what we've done so far. Just to summarize, what we did was to listen for input. It was to activate input on the background image. Then we're listening for input down events, and if there's something selected And if the user interface is not blocked, then we grab the location of the touch where we clicked or we touched, and we create a new sprite on that position. We are passing on the parameters of the button to the new sprite just because we'll need those to upgrade the stats of the pet later on.